what we really do in Tradeshift is that we take unstructured data that's out there and we get it structured and we enhance the quality. And the quality filter is that of the network, because you have participants, suppliers and buyers. They're collaborating, they're validating this data, they're validating transactions. And it's individual so it's both in the collaboration and it's individual with the supplier and it's with the buyer, because they process that and they get all of that data validated into their accounting processes ultimately, right? Which is of a really high standard, that validation. So the data that we basically take in from an unstructured context and make structures provides a super, super high quality data source for training ML models to employ them on various different problems. One of the hard problems is that of identity, right? So Tradeshift is a business network. We have lots of suppliers, we have lots of buyers on the network, some companies doing both on the network, and new companies join the network all the time. But companies are big, right? And so it might be that somebody out there is joining the network thinking that their company is not already on Tradeshift. But in reality it is, and some other department has been using it. Now, how do you figure out that these two are the same companies? There's the act of identity verification and matching. And that's one of the places where in our onboarding process, we employ ML models to make a determination of how big of a likelihood is it that a new company coming in is the same as another. And this notion of identity verification and trust is one of the key properties of any business network out there. The coding process, especially for non-PO based invoices, so an invoice that did not have a PO issued on beforehand, needs to get coded. And that usually is a manual process. It's a manual process, but it's also an error-prone process. So accuracy of manual labor is actually not super good. So this is one of the places where we've been able to induce a whole lot of efficiency into our customers' processes by basically taking out the manual part. But we do it in two modes. So we do it in an assisted coding mode, where we have an ML model that will then suggest to the operator, to the user, this is how your invoice, we believe your invoice should be coded. And then the user can ratify those choices or make changes, submit the invoice. Or we do it in an automated mode. In the automated mode, you let the AMI model take control and it auto-codes the invoice. But and then we go into another topic, which is really trust and reliability and accuracy of running AI-powered business processes. So when is it good enough, and when are you comfortable giving control to an AI and ML model? And so what we actually built out for this particular purpose is what we call the automation, the ADA automation dashboard. And so we basically run this coding model alongside your manual operations, and you can compare results. And you can set in thresholds for what is the cost of doing manual labor and cost of mistakes and so on. And basically, we very nicely give you a visual that shows you when is the right place to change over and give control to the AI model. One of the biggest problems as you get invoices coming in, and especially as we see the disintermediation actually created by the clearance models in different countries for e-invoicing, right? So we're moving to the continuous transaction control, the CTC models. In those cases, what often needs to happen is, as an invoice comes in, it needs to get linked to a transaction context. And that linking of the transaction context can be quite complicated. And we see that with some of our customers. Now, in the most simple of cases, you just get an invoice and it just needs an approval. Somebody needs to look at it. But that's tail spend and it's, discrete spend. In the other end of the spectrum, you have extremely high volume transactions coming through. And each of those transactions, each of those invoices tie into a larger transaction context with many, many different documents, right? Many purchase orders, transport orders, goods receipts, delivery notes, and so on. And the act of linking all of this up together so you can determine, this invoice that we're getting in, is that one that we should be paying or not? The act of linking that whole tree up together, and one that we spend quite a bit of engineering effort on getting right, is one where we believe that we can employ some of these generative AI technologies, given that we can give them enough context as they evaluate. And it's an issue that really is solving this in the right way, really increases both the efficiency and the effectiveness of the whole accounts payable processing, and how quickly you can execute it. Because doing the right linking is the precursor to any kind of touchless processing and automation you want to have in your accounts payable process down the line.